Ladies and gents, from Kurzgesagt reaction, and this is What If We Nuke a City by the channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. Yes, another nuke video from Kurzgesagt. These are always awesome. I think we already have the answer. What if we nuke a city? You know, Nagasaki. You know, we bombed that. What's the other city's name? How the hell did I forget? Hiroshima. So yeah, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Two cities US already bombed in Japan. But yeah. What if we nuke a city? Let's just say it is one of the worst thing you can be a part of. You know, basically when you drop a bomb, small area around that bomb will be completely atomized. At the atomic level, everything will be vaporized. There will be nothing left, and then the shock wave will do the most of the damage. Then the heat will do lots of damage. People will just burn up. It's just effed up all around. Yeah. Fear of nukes are the real fear, you know, real massive fears. There's a games created by that, Fallout, one of the most famous games of all time. What if everybody nukes everyone and what happens afterwards? Yeah, let's watch this one. I wrote quite a few Kurzgesagt videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cards as a playlist. I created for it, Kurzgesagt reaction, something like that. Real life lore reaction playlist is there too. CGP Grey, Tierzu, Internet Historian. So yeah, let's watch this one.
Playing around with nuclear weapons in videos is fun. There's a visceral joy in blowing things up and a horrifying fascination with things like fireballs, shockwaves and radiation. And while it does help put our destructive power in perspective, it's not the best way of understanding the real impact of a nuclear explosion. This isn't about silly stacks of TNT or about how bright an explosion is. Nuclear weapons are about you. So we've partnered with the Red Cross and Red Crescent movement to explore what would really happen if a nuclear weapon were detonated in a major city today. Not nuclear war, just one explosion.
Yeah, first of all, I've seen the videos of atomic bombs that were dropped on Japan. Those were terrifying, but then I also saw something like Castle Bravo and Tsar Bomba, the, you know, thermonuclear bombs, the big ones, even the bigger. And people think that atom bombs are already so devastating to us. Doesn't matter even if you explode a bigger thermonuclear bomb, they will all look the same. But no, atom bombs looks terrifying, but then there's a thermonuclear bomb which has cloud, you know, mushroom cloud that goes extremely high up, and you know, there's a eerie sound that, you know, eerie sound that comes from it, and everything around it brightens up, gets a bit of red, and it's just horrifying. So, you know, USA dropped, you know, atomic bombs on Japan. Thermonuclear bombs are just ridiculously powerful. So, you know, dropping a nuke in any city, that's the most scary thing. The first bomb now gets dropped anywhere. That would cause a chain reaction that will eventually, some people that would have never dropped a bomb on anyone would have gotten a license to drop now because somebody already did again. So anybody drops a bomb now will start this chain reaction. The people will start to drop bombs like it's nothing. If anything, everybody will just, you know, out of retaliation would drop bombs and half of the world would get destroyed. So that's real fear right there. I like to think chances are low.
We begin our story in the middle of downtown in a major city. People are going to work, studying for exams, are lost in their thoughts and daily lives.
Oh, no,
right here, a nuclear weapon is detonated and time freezes. The first phase of the explosion happens within less than a second. In a millisecond, a ball of plasma hotter than the sun appears and grows in a fireball to more than 2 kilometers across. Within this ball, everyone is just gone. Think of water dripped onto a very hot pan.
Yeah,
a sizzle, and then there's nothing. Most buildings, cars, trees, tacky sculptures, and people, all evaporated. First, the flash, an intense tsunami of light, washes over the city in an instant. If you happen to...
Yeah, if this is a thermonuclear bomb he's talking about, then that big ball of 2 kilometer wide big ball that atomizes everything. Basically, that's a small sun. Very small scale sun that was created. So if you throw something in the sun, it will, you know, just get vaporized, atomized. That's what would happen. Everything, buildings, nothing, no debris will be left because everything got atomized.
Have your head pointed in the direction of the explosion, it renders you blind for a few hours. The heat of this light produces a thermal pulse. so energetic and hot that it just burns everything as far as 13 kilometers from the detonation site. What this means is that everything in an area of 500 square kilometers that is able to burn starts burning. Plastic, wood, fabric, hair and skin. If you happen to be in reach of the thermal pulse, one moment you're on your way to work, the next moment you're on fire. Now the second phase begins. It happens in a few seconds. Most people will now first notice that something is wrong, but it's already too late for hundreds of thousands. The flash is followed by the shockwave. The heat and radiation of the fireball create a bubble of superheated and supercompressed air around it that's now expanding explosively, faster than the speed of sound, creating winds stronger than hurricanes and tornadoes. Human infrastructure is no match for its power. Most major buildings within a kilometer of the fireball are just ground up down to their base. Only steel-reinforced concrete is able to partially resist the pressure. In the surrounding parks where retirees feed the ducks, trees blackened and smouldering from the heat a second before snap like toothpicks. If you're outside, you get tossed away like a grain of dust in a tornado. The shockwave weakens as it travels outwards, but still, about 175 square kilometers of houses collapse like they're made of cards, trapping tens of thousands of people who didn't have any time to react. Gas stations explode.
People survived? How's that possible?
And fires spread throughout the rubble. A mushroom cloud made from the remains of the fireball, dust and ash rises kilometers into the sky in the next...
Yeah, people, there'll be some people that would survive from that. God damn. Oh god, that is so terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the biggest... This fear of nukes is, you know, so real because everybody has these nukes. And when you have fear of, I don't know, some things like asteroid hitting us, I mean, what are the chances of that? There's always thinking that. You know, all the different type of fear, like, you know, gamma ray burst because of some sort of massive supernova happened. That's a big in the distance. Super volcano exploding. Yeah, but probably not going to happen for many thousands of years. Nukes people already have right now. Press of a button, one directive, and that's it. This is so effed up, I'm not going to lie. This is one of the biggest fear anyone can have realistically.
Next few minutes and casts a dark shadow over the ruined city. This violently pulls in fresh air surrounding the city, destroying more buildings and providing an abundance of oxygen. It depends on the city what happens next. If there's enough fuel, fires may turn into a firestorm that burns the rubble, everybody trapped in it, and people trying to flee the devastation. Up to 21 kilometers from the explosion, people just like...
Whoa, I never even thought of that. Yeah, air comes back and pulls inside. So now everything with the fire gets pulled inside. Inside the mushroom cloud. So, you know, now the fire is gonna sweep through. Oh, there are more waves of destruction. Damn.
You rush to their windows to take pictures of the mushroom cloud, unaware that the shockwave is still coming at them, about to shatter their windows and create a blizzard of sharp glass.
Ooh, look at that. I'm probably gonna be dead. Lots of people are dead. Let's put it on Instagram. People would do that. I'm not gonna lie. That's what happened in, I think, Russia, Chelyabinsk. What is that place called? Where that, you know, asteroid went down and exploded for lots of kilometers, you know, up. But that is same power as, you know, I think, same or bit more power than the bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So, you know, that created a wave. Everybody just went outside. What was the bright light? And just then the wave came. And the windows exploded and people got hurt. Lots of people got hurt. Eyes, glasses in the eyes, skin. That was just effed up. There are videos of that. So when you see the video where the, you know, that suddenly that asteroid explodes and it becomes a bright light. In just few seconds after that, the, you know, the wave is coming, and after that everybody gets hurt. It's weird to see that you have live footage of that. You can just time it like, oh, now everybody got hurt. That's just heavy.
Third phase begins in the coming hours and days. We're used to the idea that help will come no matter the disaster.
Look at that.
This time is different. A nuclear explosion is like every natural disaster at once. There are hundreds of thousands or millions of people with serious injuries, lacerations, broken bones, serious burns.
How is this possible? How could people survive after all the shockwave that destroyed all the mega structure of buildings, skyscrapers and things? The heat Heat wave came through and burned everything around, and yet people still survived. How is that possible?
In the next few minutes and hours, thousands more will die because of these injuries.
Oh God.
Countless people are trapped in collapsed buildings like in earthquakes, or blinded by the flash, deaf from the blast wave, and unable to flee through streets impassable with rubble and debris. They're terrified, confused, and don't know what's happened to them or why. Most likely, many hospitals have been leveled.
Who here played that game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare? There's a mission in there. There's a part of the mission where we are on the helicopter and a nuke explodes. We go down with the helicopter, and the last moment of the missions are that we are dying because this nuke exploded. You see, the person that we are playing at first person view, so we are dying slowly. You could see mushroom cloud in the distance. Everything was just, environment was glowing because it was so hot. Oh God. That is, at the time, that was the closest thing you could feel what it is to be near a nuclear bomb, because I don't think there was at the time. The game is so old, in YouTube there was no more animated videos like this. So at the time anybody played the game, that's the closest they came to understanding what it feel like to be close to a nuke. That's why the game was so awesome. Since that, there is no good game like that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare was that good. Then all this online gaming and microtransaction shit happened. But that was so good. This is just like that. People are still survive just to die slowly. That's just effed up, man.
Along with all the other buildings, and most medical professionals are either dead or injured along with everyone else. The survivors lucky enough to have been in metro tunnels or standing in the right place to be unburned and unhurt won't have truly escaped harm yet. Depending on the type of weapon, where it explodes, and even the weather, an awful black rain can begin, with radioactive ash and dust descending on the city, covering everything and everyone. The invisible, malicious, silent horror of radiation takes its turn. Every breath carries poison to the lungs of the survivors. Over the coming days, the people who receive the highest doses of radiation exposure will die. There will be no help, not for hours or maybe even days. Civilization doesn't operate when there is a total breakdown of infrastructure. Roads are blocked, train tracks warped, runways cluttered with rubble.
That is true. Our infrastructure is extremely weak when you think about it, because any kind of events like this happens, earthquake, tsunami, flooding, or even the nuke like this. Any event happens and some infrastructure breaks here and then, that's just cut off the entire chain of emergency vehicles. I mean, when you think about it, that is really weak.
No water, no electricity, no communication, no stores to replenish supplies from. Help from surrounding cities will have a hard time entering the disaster zone, and even if they can, the radioactive contamination will make it risky to get too close.
Yeah.
After a nuclear attack, you're on your own.
Oh God, look at that. A kid with a teddy bear's waving hand. Why you have to draw that, man? Why you have to draw a kid doing that? We understand that kids in the city, but you don't have to tell us that. This is just after. This makes it way more heavy.
Bit by bit, people emerge from the rubble, on foot, contaminated with radioactive fallout, carrying what little...
A guy walking with, his kid, there he has, the kid has also a teddy bear.
They may have left. They are slow, in pain, traumatized, and they all need food, water, and medical treatment fast. And the damage done by a nuclear weapon doesn't end when the fires burn out and the smoke clears. The hospitals in the neighboring cities are under-equipped for a disaster of this scale and overwhelmed with tens or hundreds of thousands of patients with serious injuries. In the weeks, months, and years to come, many of those who survived will succumb to cancers like leukemia. The reason no government wants you to think about all this is because there is no serious humanitarian response possible to a nuclear explosion. There's no way to really help the immediate victims of a nuclear attack. This is not a hurricane, wildfire or earthquake or nuclear accident. It is all of these things at once, but worse. No nation on Earth is prepared to deal with it. The world has changed in the past few years, with world leaders again
nukes are basically hold my beer response from humans. Nature has tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunamis, massive earthquakes. So, humans like, what, hold my beer. Here's a even, more effed up thing, nukes. Because damn, for the 13-kilometer wide area where the nuke fell, people suffers third-degree burns and everything gets burned up. That is so effed up, man.
Explicitly and publicly threatening each other with nuclear weapons. Many experts think the danger of a nuclear strike is higher than it has been in decades.
What?
Governments tell their citizens that it's good that we have nuclear weapons, but it's bad when anyone else gets them. That it's somehow necessary to threaten others with mass destruction to keep us.
We are very peaceful. We need nuclear bombs to keep everybody in check. But everybody can't have bombs. Nobody needs bomb, man.
Safe. But does this make you feel safe? It only takes a small group of people with power to go crazy or rogue, a small misstep or a simple misunderstanding to unleash a catastrophe of unimaginable proportions. Exploding stuff in videos is fun. Exploding things in real life, not so much. There is a solution though. Eliminating all nuclear weapons and vowing never to build them again.
I like that. I'm gonna be honest, that is never going to happen. Everybody will just destroy the nukes and just, hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That is never going to happen. When nuclear bombs were created, that's the door that opened that can never be closed ever again, regardless of what. If every country in the world decides to, destroy nukes, there will be a country like, I don't know, North Korea or something, they would say, yeah, I'm gonna keep my bombs. You can't make everybody agree. You can't do that. And if North Korea can have nuclear bombs, then threshold is not high. Any good enough country can develop a bomb if they want.
In 2017, almost 2/3 of all the world's countries, supported by hundreds of civil society organizations and the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, agreed to prohibit and eliminate nuclear weapons. It's not about who has nuclear weapons and who doesn't. The weapons themselves are the problem. They are deeply immoral and an existential threat to all of us. No matter what country you come from, no matter what political side you find yourself on, we need to demand that they disappear forever. This will not happen without pressure. If you want to be part of this pressure, there are things you personally can do too. Visit notonukes.org to learn more about nuclear weapons and what you can do about them.
What is this? Yeah, man. I'm one of those guys who always thinks that, what? I'm more of a realist. And nukes are the reason, everybody just thinks that, we are so good. We are so intellectually, at the highest level right now. So that past century, we had no war. We have no wars. After World War II, there is no big wars because we are so good. We are living in advanced. No, that's all bullshit. We have no wars because everybody has nukes. Nukes are the reason nobody's even thinking of war. Alright? Before nukes, everybody was waging war because anybody who's in somewhat power see things on a spreadsheet. Like, if I wage a war, even if I lose, how much am I going to lose? If I win, how much am I going to gain, and what's the incentive there? And who should I wage a war against? Obviously, I'm not going to wage a war against somebody who's equal to me. I'm going to wage a war against somebody who's below me. So even if somebody else gets involved, maybe I'll back down, maybe I'll sign a treaty and everything will be fine. It was always, profit and loss and spreadsheet. Since there are nukes, nobody's going to even think about that because maybe a nuclear bomb can just come and just fuck everything up. So nukes are a reason why there are even not small wars here and there between some countries. I mean, Russia basically annexed Crimea, even with the nukes being there. That's just Russia. There are lots of countries in the world who have a bit of power start to become aggressors, taking neighbor countries here and there. And if pressure increases, just sign a treaty, everything will be fine. I mean, nobody wants war. So maybe USA and other countries, UK, France, Europe, all of them get involved and pressure increases, I'll just sign a treaty. People just think that. So, if we get rid of all the bombs, all the nukes, there will be small wars here and there. There will be countries where there are actual wars. The time of no major war will end because it's all in the spreadsheet in the end. If you are big enough, you can survive that even if you lose. People will think that. Nukes is the only reason people are not doing that. But in the end, what I think is, what we just saw in this video, nukes are so terrifying that is above our human comprehension. We can't process all this, just the devastation. In this animation, he draw all those kids that just, walking around, hurt, dying slowly because of all the radiation with the teddy bear in their hands. That hit me, even though it was just animation. But if you drop a nuke, that's actually going to happen. It's so effed up. So if small wars happens, it happens. Wars are happening for thousands of years now. It's not a new thing. We will find some new way to stop wars. Nukes are not an answer. So everybody has to say no to the nukes. Otherwise, it's just too effed up, man. That's what I think. I realize how nukes are important. I realize nuke ended a war. And I realize that nukes are the reason there are no wars. But if getting rid of the nukes causes war, then so be it. We'll find a way to stop that. But nukes are just way too much. That's beyond our own comprehension. If a nuke, 9/11 attack that destroyed Twin Towers, that scarred people that are not even in the USA, even outside of the USA at the ridiculous level, just because how horrible it was. So imagine if somebody drops a nuke at some cities and millions dies. And you find footage, this is advanced, advanced technology, everybody has cameras, you find footage of kids dying slowly on the street because everybody destroyed. How effed up would that be for the psychology of everybody on the planet? People would, get scarred at a whole another level. Nukes are not good for anything. Getting rid of the nukes are the right answer. I don't think that's going to happen, but I hope people push for that. Alright, that was What If We Nuke a City. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards for the plays, check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.